Napoli, Napoli, Napoli!
What's going on, my fellow Napoletani and Calcio enthusiasts? Welcome back to Napoli Nation TV. This is season 2, episode 13, and we have an upcoming match against Genoa at the Stadio Diego Armando Maradona. Genoa are sitting dead freaking last with like a -5 goal differential. It's not looking good for them. Sadly, as you know, well, some of you may know, we have a gemelaggio with them. It's like a little brotherhood connection kind of thing. Whenever we got promoted to Serie A, we almost what exactly happened? It was like it was a tie ball game, right? Where we both got promoted. Is that exactly how it happened, Debo? I know you're more
Yeah.
familiar with that situation.
Yeah. The match ended 0-0.
Yeah,
And I
yeah,
think
0-0.
at some point they decided that they were gonna just let the match end 0-0.
Yeah.
So yeah, it was in Genoa, and all the fans celebrated together, and since then it's the gemelaggio has been ongoing since then.
Now, do you recall what position we were sitting in the table? Like, was it more so a favor for them or vice versa? Like both of us? Like, what do you know exactly what happened?
Ooh, man, I don't know about that. I'd
Interesting.
have to
Okay.
look that up and figure
Yeah.
it out. Yeah, I don't know
If we
if
were
it was
helping
like a
them out per se,
playoff or
or
something.
okay,
Well, I
okay,
don't know
okay.
if it was like a playoff, because I'm pretty sure that Serie B only the first team automatically goes, and then there might be like one or two teams. I think it's 3 teams total, right? So
Yeah.
maybe what it was is there was like a playoff going on, and if they both ended up where they needed to be in second and third, they both went to to Serie A. That's probably what happened, but I don't know. That was a long time ago. Rules
Yeah,
could have been different then.
that's history for sure. But either way, that's kind of the history of our brotherhood with Genoa. So regardless, we gotta destroy them, straight obliterate them. They're dead last, as I mentioned earlier. So yeah, let's get into the injury status before we do go into the game. So of course, we all know very well that Romelu Lukaku got injured in the preseason, sadly, and that was a 3-month injury. He's expected to return in early November. Me and Debo think it might be even later than that. So we'll see what happens with Romelu. And of course, our beloved defenders, Amir Rahmani and Alessandro Bongiorno, are both expected to return late October. However, I did see on some of their sources that Bongiorno may come back October 7th. I don't believe that's true. And if it doesn't need to happen, do not let it happen. We already know he's made of glass and we can't keep risking that.
Yeah, man.
So, without further ado, let's get into the formations and tactics. Alrighty, formations and tactics. This is a bit of a iffy subject. Let me bring up our beloved ex-Napoletano Leo Ostigard. I don't know if any of you remember that or how long you guys have been watching Napoli, but what was with us like 3 years ago, probably now, almost 4.
I
Plays
think 3.
defense. 3, yeah, okay.
Yeah.
I thought he was all right, but anyways, we're not gonna get into Ostigard right now. So Napoli played Genoa at home. Debo, what do you think we're gonna go out there? People are saying 4-1-4-1 again. Maybe Conte tries to change it up. I don't know. He didn't do a press conference, as you mentioned to me personally, right? So we don't have
Mm.
really a hint of what he will do, which is probably a good thing. But what do you think they're gonna come out and rock with formation wise?
Honestly, no clue. Because I mean, the press conference gives you an idea, and then I think the predicted formations are generated by all the outlets, considering what happens during the press conference. So I don't know. I mean, we're going into an international break. Is that going to make a difference on, who Conte is maybe resting? Or I mean, the only thing that makes me think that maybe he'll try something a little bit different is it is Genoa, bottom of the table. We're playing at home. So we'll see. It would be nice to see, one of our midfielders rest and see how we do with 3 midfielders whether that's a 4-3-3 or that's like something different with like a double pivot where we go 4-2-3-1, or I just like to see how we perform with only three midfielders, no matter what the formation is, to see if we can, be productive with one of them not playing. Because at some point, one of them's going to get injured at some point. Either it's going to be a small knock or whatever. We're going to need to be ready for that. So this might be the perfect game to do that. But I'm
What is
not
your gut
saying that I
telling you?
think that's what's going to happen. I'm
What
just
is your
saying
gut
it would
telling
be
you?
nice.
Is he going to change it or not? What do you think? Truly.
No, my gut is that he won't. My gut is that he's gonna stick with the same formation and the same regular starters if they're available, including Politano. It would be nice to see David Neres get a start in a game like this in a formation like a 4-3-3, but we'll see what happens.
So I actually think, my gut is telling me that there is going to be a turnover of formation. I think that Conte will implement the 4-3-3, giving one of the midfielders a chance to rest a bit. That being Zambo, KDB, McTominay, or Lobotka. Preferably, I would like to see either Anguissa or KDB get some rest this game. I know benching KDB, whoop-de-doo. Maybe even McTominay. Obviously, we have to have Lobo out there. He's a huge deal to us. No rest for Lobo this game. But
And I would, and Marty, I would love to see. I would prefer it's not McTominay so that we could try to get him off
mhm,
in a game. You know what I
correct.
mean?
Yeah, and this is the perfect formation for him to be successful in. This is what we rocked last year, and we saw he was the MVP of Serie A in this formation. I think it opens up his play a little bit more. In this 4-1-4-1, I almost see him and KDB like stepping on each other's feet. Not necessarily McTominay to KDB, but KDB to McTominay. And
Mhm.
it's not a knock towards KDB. He's doing what he's told to do by Conte, but I just don't think we're getting the best out of McTominay in the 4-1-4-1. Just my thoughts. Obviously, Conte knows best. I am not the head coach, but I think this will be the game where we implement the 4-3-3,
I hope
possibly
so.
start Lang as a winger, right? And then
Ooh,
yeah, on the left side, and then Neres on the right. I think Politano.
damn.
I think Politano deserves some rest. Conte,
Okay.
give the man some rest, right?
Mm.
He had a iffy game against Milan. He allowed that crazy penalty. I saw people saying it wasn't a penalty. That was a penalty. It was
The
reckless.
the
Yes,
penalty against
yes, I
Sporting?
saw. Yes, no, 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 no. Yes, against Sporting. Sorry, yes, yeah.
There was people saying it wasn't a
I'm
penalty?
talking about Sporting. He had an iffy match against Sporting. I did say Milan. Sorry, apologies. Yeah, against Sporting, he had an iffy
Man,
game.
you need to I'm gonna look for one of them tweets. Somebody
Oh,
had
I
tried
can
to say it
after
wasn't
this
a
after this
foul?
recording, I can show you just a couple.
Dang.
Yeah,
That was
it it,
like
it
the Italians
seemed like
say, that
very.
was a rigore netto.
Yeah, I don't know how they were saying. Maybe it was just Politano fanboys because surprisingly, there's quite a few. We know there's a lot of haters. I'm neither. I'm realistic, and I think Politano needs to rest. Okay, we'll call it rest. And then Neres comes in, does his thing with Lang on the other side, and then Hoyland up top, obviously. In
That would
defense,
be exciting. Oof, if that happens, man, I hope your gut's right.
yeah. And then if Dilo even needs one more game of rest, we obviously saw Spinazzola did very well playing right back for Di Lorenzo because he was suspended from a red card in the UCL match against Sporting because of the Man City red. So yeah, and then Gutierrez Miguel. I always say his last name wrong. I'm gonna call him Miguel. Left back for sure. I think Oliveira is still injured. I'm not for certain. I didn't see him on the injury list, but I think Conte will
I think
still
he
just yeah,
did he come in the last game as a sub? Let me see.
he did. Not injured, but not also fully fit. That's what I
Yeah.
read. Right.
Okay.
So
All right.
Gutierrez, however you say his name, Miguel. I think he should start. He's a phenomenal left back. Obviously, he's only played 2 matches with us, and he's already excelled fairly well, in my opinion. And then in the
Yeah.
back, we'll have the old reliable Juan Jesus, who, by the way, has been very undervalued this season, just like last. I think people are giving the man a hard time for no reason. We know his age, we know his limitations, and I believe he's stout, especially for his age, right? Like he is doing his job very well back there.
Mhm.
And then to his right would be Bukema or no, I don't want to see Marianucci. I'm sorry. This might be a good game for him. to perform well and then try to step up his game. But I would rather not see it. Yeah.
Let's wait for the Copa game.
Yeah, that I can agree with. He obviously needs a lot more time. So just start Bukema back there, please, Conte. So yeah, I mean, I'm thinking that's a formation 4-3-3. McTominay, KDB, and Lobo. Anguissa gets some rest, very well needed. He's a very, very hardworking individual out there. So yeah,
I like it. The only thing I would do different.
Yeah,
I like it. The only thing I would do different is maybe have KDB rest.
Yeah, I don't have any complaints about that either. I would let him rest too. Either him or Anguissa in the 4-3-3. They can rest. Goalie. You already know who I want. It's VMS, but it's not going to be VMS. It's going to be Meret.
You think so?
Do I think so? Yeah, this is what Conte does. It's almost like I'm already seeing Conte's vision. Milinkovic-Savic as a UCL goalie, Meret as a Serie A goalie. That's what I'm seeing.
Really?
Just from the I mean, yeah. I mean, look what he's done so far.
Okay.
VMS has started both. I think that injury about Meret, I think it's complete bullshit. I think it was just a what's it called? A smoke screen to allow VMS to a start. That's just what I'm thinking he's gonna do. UCL, Serie A, they both split it. Copa can be Contini. Of course, we know he's also injured. I didn't mention that injury status just because, I mean, it is Contini, but he might even start Copa games. Who knows? I don't know. We obviously don't have to play through a lot of matches because we're already automatically in the semifinals, right? Against Milan, I believe.
I don't think it's the semifinals. It's not even close to semifinals. I think it's like
well,
I think
we
there might
definitely
be
start
16 teams in it right now.
So is that quarterfinals? That's quarterfinals. 8 and 8.
No,
4 and 4.
Yeah, that would be quarterfinals. My bad. Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
So either way, depending who we play, obviously if it's a bigger team like Milan, Inter, Fiorentina, whatever, so we should start Meret or VMS, not Contini. Just my opinion. But as informations, that's really all we got. Debo says 4-1-4-1. My gut's telling me 4-3-3. We're playing.
I didn't say that. Wait.
You did.
I didn't say no. I said I don't know.
Okay, so tell the people. No, I don't know. What do you think is going to happen?
Like, what do I think Conte is going to decide?
Yes. What do you think? Not what you want. What you think Conte will decide. I think
my
Conte
bad.
will decide a 4-3-3.
Okay, my bad. I guess I said that then. Yeah, I think Conte is going to stick with it.
Okay.
Unfortunately. I hope I'm wrong.
So with that being said, let's get into Eyes on King Kevin. Kevin De Bruyne. Mr. Elite.
You put the accent in there. Okay.
He's from the Prem. I have to almost, It's mandatory. Kevin De Bruyne.
He's bloody good.
Yeah, he's bloody good, mate. What a match against Sporting. Must be said. Man. His first world-class match. 2 beautiful assists, one from across, one through the lines, as we know him so well for passing between the lines. And that was my biggest front about the 4-1-4-1 formation, is that he doesn't really get these opportunities in that formation. Plus, he's playing so deep, etc. There's a whole story behind it. But this game, it worked out. No complaints. KDB showing some of his prime out there. So, Debo, tell me what you thought. Can he continue this? Whatever.
I wasn't able to watch the game live. I had to watch replay, and then I watched some highlights, and then I got on Twitter and I saw that replay over and over and over again. And then the other one. Yeah. Matt, when he threw that ball in the box, he didn't even wind up his leg. Did you notice that?
Talking about his cross?
Yeah, like the ball came to his feet, and he did not use a wind-up kick. Like, it was like a half thing, and it came in there so quick, man. That was crazy.
Yeah.
And then, like that through ball, I hope we can see a whole lot more of that. You know what I mean? Because when you have a defense playing on their back heels, wondering when the next pass is going to come through the lines like that on a through ball to somebody with the speed of Højlund, that will make everything else open up on the edges, man. Like, if you watch the replay, you can see that he had Politano open, and the majority of people probably thought that that was where the pass needed to go, and then all of a sudden, man, he just splits those 2 defenders. And then the way Hoyland, like, gathered the ball and that
Perfect.
one touch and then the shot, man, it was a fucking beautiful play, man. I
That's pitch
loved it.
perfect. Yeah,
Yeah.
literally. So KDB, I mean, this is what we've been waiting for, a game like this. We obviously saw some sparks throughout the season of his abilities, but the whole game, I mean,
Mm.
he was out there being KDB. Obviously, we'll do a quick thoughts on Napoli Sporting towards the end of the video. But in terms of just Kevin De Bruyne, this is Man City Kevin De Bruyne. You know what I mean?
This needs to kick him off for the rest of the season too.
That's what I was going to
I
mention.
don't I'm not
I
saying that
think
we need to see I mean, I'm
mhm,
not saying that we need to see him get, like, 2 crazy assists every game, but we do need to see consistent world-class play, whether that's assists or just his spacing
yeah,
and the way that he is, beating his defenders. We haven't seen a lot of it, man. So I'm hoping that this is the kickoff to the rest of the season where he is more consistent. Because you're right, he has shown, a flash here or there, and his 2 penalty kicks, those were in and itself very professional penalty kicks, right?
mhm.
Um, and I'm glad that we have somebody that we can absolutely rely on
Yeah,
to do that. Because
with Lukaku being out.
yeah, man. So I just want to see this be the beginning of him starting to be that player that we knew we were getting.
So yeah, so 2 points I wanted to get across before we get into the next segment. One, we mentioned on the live the Milan Napoli review with Martino and Francesco that players like Christian Pulisic, they don't necessarily need assists and goals to make an impact in a match.
Mm,
Same
yep.
thing with KDB. He doesn't need assists
Mhm.
or goals every time. As you mentioned, the spacing, that's what he's best
Yep.
at, is creating opportunities, not necessarily even
Yep.
just from him to the goal scorer. It can be prior to it. It can be like a
Yep.
pre-assist per se. You know what I mean?
Yep.
We already know they did a phenomenal job covering the field this season, but as we mentioned, not really the KDB we're used to seeing who creates these opportunities as much. He's obviously had a couple, right? But I'm
And
not
then you
saying
know
it's just
what?
every game, right? I mean, we know he's
Yeah.
older. We mentioned also in the live his fitness doesn't seem amazing right now. I don't know if I necessarily agree with that. I think his fitness is okay.
I
Obvi-
actually I mentioned earlier in another show
mhm.
that when he was playing with Hoyland, I was like, I had a moment where I was like, which one's which? And it
Yeah,
was while they were moving on the pitch. So
yeah,
I don't know, man. I don't agree with anybody that's talking about like his fitness being an issue. I have not
yeah,
noticed that one time. I
yeah.
really haven't.
I think he's
He's
fine
older.
in that
He's
form of
never
right.
been lightning fast or anything. I mean, he's not as fast as he used to be, but he's never been lightning fast either.
Yeah.
So I haven't noticed the fitness issue that some others have talked about.
It's crazy that
So
you mentioned him not being lightning fast though. I don't know. I think it's did you see the way that he split through the defenders whenever he carried the ball through the midfield? Like whenever he like split right to
yep,
left and like
yep.
I don't know, it's not lightning fast, but that's pretty fast to me. You know,
Well, it was more of a quickness move. It
quickness.
wasn't like
Okay.
he was flying by his defenders, but
Yeah.
he was quick in his decision and his movements when he was taking that ball up. You know what I mean?
Either way, FC
Um,
26, you got to fix his 66 pace on that game.
yeah,
That's
that's crazy,
ridiculous.
man. Come
66
on,
is
man.
crazy. Like, come on.
The other thing I want to see, like that, I guess, sort of like another step in his impact on the pitch is his chemistry with McTominay, man.
Mm,
If they can find a way to start clicking, whether that's because Zombo is like a midfielder that's not on the pitch and they have 3 midfielders and there's a little bit more spacing within those 3 midfielders instead of 4. That to me, that's the next step. Once he has chemistry with McTominay, however it happens, watch out.
Oh yeah, you don't want
Watch out.
McTominay to get back into MVP form because we'll be
Mhm.
real dangerous, real dangerous.
Yeah.
I'm thinking this game, McTominay. Actually, Let's leave that for the predictions.
Okay.
That's enough of KDB. Let's quickly go over our thoughts on the Napoli Sporting UCL match that occurred on Wednesday. Let's get into it. Okay, so Napoli beat Sporting at home 2-1. We obviously saw Napoli go up 1-0 before the half ended. Politano allowed a penalty to occur in, what is it, like the 50th, 60th minute, I believe, something like that. And Napoli went on to score in the late 70th, early 80th minute from a beautiful KDB cross, by the way. So let's quickly bring up these ratings and see what you think. Debo, we'll start with you. How are you feeling about this?
So I'm gonna be honest with you. I did watch the replay, but it's always hard for me to stay focused on a replay when I know what the result is. So I can't really talk too much about this. The only thing that's obvious is the score for KDB and Hoyland,
Yeah.
right? So them both being well above everybody else and having VMS as one of the top ones too. I mean, basically, it was that one save towards the end, right? That shit was crazy. Imagine being in the stadium when that shit happened. Oh my god. So yeah, you got to talk about the player ratings a little bit more than me.
Sure. So I definitely like how they gave Juan Jesus a 7-3, very well deserving, and a little bit above average of a score. He did his job very well in the back line. Lobotka always deserves a 7 every match. I don't care, so I don't agree with that. He always performs up to his standards. Anguissa, McTominay, I agree with a 6-5, 6-6. Obviously, we know that Anguissa was the man who started that play on the first goal. Without what he did, KDB would have not been able to cut inside and get open the way he did. So, but 6-5 is definitely fair because other than that, he didn't really do too much else, in all honesty.
So I got a question,
yeah,
man.
sure.
I got a question. How did Politano actually play? Because that penalty is worth like a 4.
Yeah, I don't know why they
How
gave him
did he
a 7. I
play?
was just
Why
about to get into that.
they gave him a 6-7? What the hell?
I don't know. I feel like a lot of these ratings are, I mean, we know ratings don't tell the whole story, right? But Politano, I'd give him like a flat 6.
So
Not bad enough to get into the 5s, but definitely not good enough to get into the near 7s. Definitely not, especially with that Politano or the penalty fluke that he.
You know what I think? If they ended up not getting a win, Politano's score would have been lower because it would have caused us to lose points at home against a team that we have to beat if we have any chance of getting into the top 8 for the league phase. You know what I mean?
Yeah, we couldn't lose or tie.
And then you ain't lying about Lobo, man.
Yeah, no, 6-9
I mean,
is
how
bullshit.
does Lobo always get these lower scores?
He doesn't.
When
no,
I mean,
he usually averages about
I wonder how important
7.2, 7.3 minimum.
But I wonder how important it is for him in a position for these foot mob rating gurus, whoever they are, for him not to have an assist or a goal because he almost never has that. Do they like really care that much about that? And that's why he can never get into the high 7s because, dude, when's the last time Lobo actually had a bad game? You know, and I know a 6.9 is not a bad score, but it's also not in the green.
He needs to be in the green.
It's not in the green, bro. So
No,
it's like, what are you
green.
trying to say?
This is why we bring up hot mob ratings, is because we know they're kind of all over the place with some players, and they didn't really watch the game. You know what I mean?
Sometimes I feel like what they get right. Yeah, sometimes I feel like what they get right is like the first and second best players, maybe, because it's so obvious they got assists and they got goals.
Yeah.
And then like the player that completely like ruined a game, if that happened, they can get that right too. But if they wanted to really, really give ratings that made more sense in a game like this, that foul by Politano was something that you don't freaking do as a grade school kid playing soccer. You don't stick your foot out on somebody coming into the box, especially when you have other defenders that were going to be able to get in the way and block that shot. He wasn't right next to the goalie. He was on the edge of the box, and it's like, what are you doing?
It was very unnecessary.
and he knew it right away too. You saw
Oh,
his
yeah.
reaction.
Oh, yeah.
He's like, "Fuck, I can't believe I did that."
Yeah. That's why, like, I don't understand how people are saying it was a penalty kick. Like, come on, give me a break. Even the player himself knew. Whenever the player himself doesn't argue it, doesn't put up any kind of fight, you just know. You just know it was a legit call. So,
That's an
lastly,
agenda, man. Anybody
yeah,
that said he didn't foul on that play, it's part of their agenda.
yeah.
That's all that is.
So, lastly, of course, we know KDB and Hoyland did their thing, 8-8, 8-6, very fair scores. Can't debate that. Spinazzola with a strong 7-7. He filled in very, very well for a suspended Di Lorenzo. We definitely know we have a good right back substitution, I guess, without Mazzocchi being included in the Champions League squad. So maybe that's what Conte was thinking the whole time. This is why you can't doubt the head coach. He knows more than any of us fans or analysts, whatever. He just knows, He's in there training with them every day. So, and of course, lastly, we cannot forget about our best goalkeeper, Milinkovic-Savic. Phenomenal save at the end, quick reaction time. Beautiful to see. He didn't have too much action to worry about this game as he did against Man City, but we know what he's capable of regardless. So 7-4, very fair score. Like I said, not much to deal with, but that one last save completely kept our result to a win and grabbing all 3 points. So real quick, we'll talk about KDB and Hoyland, how they performed this match. Now, you did say that you watched the whole game, just not live, right?
Yeah, I watched the replay, but like I was saying before, it was hard for me to stay focused in the game when I knew it was going to happen. I wasn't watching it to try to like analyze it or anything. I was just watching it because I just wanted to see like overall how different things went on during the match. So I can't really say a whole lot other than those two players were huge in this game. Like, that was obvious. KDB, the entire game, every time I was focused on him, he looked good. Hoyland, same thing. So that was really, really nice to see. And Hoyland was happy as hell, man, getting that player of the match and him being able to be on a team that's, gonna, do something in Champions League. I know he's happy.
Did you see how he pointed at the UCL patch and the Napoli patch?
Yeah. Yeah,
It's
man.
awesome, right? Yeah, you love seeing that.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, Hoyland showed what he's capable of in terms of his pace and clinicality. Both goals, especially the second one, man, that was crazy. Just for him to get up toward where the goalie's hands were and be the first one there, that was almost like it was the goalie's mistake to not get out there earlier, but it still takes a lot of damn effort to do what he did. That's not easy,
That ball
especially
was
the way
coming
that
in hot.
yeah, it was. It was. That's another thing too.
Yeah.
KDB's pass was literally pitch perfect in terms
Yeah.
of speed, aerial, everything. It was like it just couldn't get better than that. And Hoyland obviously reacted very well to it before the goalkeeper could get to it. And yeah, I mean, Hoyland and KDB, this link up, it could lead to many goals. Like I said, I don't know if it's a formation thing or what's going on, but we should definitely see much more of this.
I mean, part of it could just be the way that the other team's approaching the game too, man. Maybe they were given space that other teams don't give.
Yeah, maybe.
You know?
But either way, we got to figure it out because we should be seeing this all season long.
Mhm.
Lastly, for the sporting match, I do want to get into the goalkeeper, VMS. Phenomenal job. Without you, I don't care. Without you, we don't win that game. We don't. Simple. We just don't.
Yeah.
His leadership as well. I don't think it's talked about enough. The way that I always hear him yelling every time he's in the pit or on the pitch, I always hear his voice. Like he said, last shot, which means like leave it. So in terms of him being more vocal, I know that he had that one goal that we conceded against Fiorentina where Anguissa and I believe Oliveira, it was them two that blocked his viewpoint. We know that, well, in that situation, it's a bit different. I don't know if he could have necessarily communicated with his players in that quick of an instant, given the play, how it turned out. But yeah, communication is very important for a goalkeeper. So I'm glad that that he's definitely out there being vocal with his squad. VMS, I want to see you start every game. As we know, we don't think it's going to happen. We think you're going to be a UCL goalkeeper. We'll see. Like I said in many videos, for him to start every game, both in Serie A and UCL, we have to see Mehmet underperform, which he hasn't, to be fair. Mehmet has
Well,
not
maybe
underperformed.
what ends up happening is he's the Champions League goalkeeper, and then he's picked for some of the huge matches in the league too. Maybe that could be the way Conte goes with him, because you would have to imagine that.
Well, if you're thinking that, well, are you saying later on into the season because he would have played against Milan?
No, like even the next big match. I think the next big one for us would be against Roma, if I remember right. I mean, I don't know. We'll see, but I don't think Medet's going to be here next year.
Me neither.
I think Medet's going to try to push his way out. You know what I
Like
mean?
people are
Because he
talking
wants to
about
be.
the contract extension, but then again, that's just also like another method to keep the player on your contract and then sell him, not give him away for free on your
Exactly.
free
Yeah.
transfer. You know what I mean? So,
Yeah.
anyways, we know that we are locked into our goalkeeper position. They're both very good. I think VMS is actually elite, not just very good. I think Mehmet is very good, and I think VMS is elite. I think he's one of the best goalkeepers in Europe easily.
Yep. 100%.
Should be an easy one. Very easy. Match predictions against Genoa. At home. Bottom of the table. There's really nothing else. This should be like literally no goals conceded. And I want to see minimum, and I mean minimum, 2 goals. What do you think?
3-0.
Yeah. 3-0 is definitely fair. We should be able to
And
knock down 3.
McTominay is scoring. We
There
need
we
to get
go.
him off.
There we go. So, okay. Let's talk about
That's what I want.
the goal scorers. Who's going to score?
Oh, God, why do I got to pick who's going to score other than McTominay is going to score.
You want to think about it?
Are you asking me what I want or what I think's going to happen?
No, what you think is going to happen. We all know what we want. We want to make McTominay
Okay.
hat trick, but that ain't
Okay.
happening. Maybe.
So McTominay, Højlund, and David Neres.
Neres. So you're saying Neres is going to start?
No,
Or is it going to be a substitution?
He's going to play. He's going to play.
Okay.
Whether it's 4-3-3 and he starts or not, he's going to play. Yeah. That's my prediction.
This is me.
3-0, McTominay, Højlund, and David Neres.
Okay, so my prediction is going off of who I think is going to start and what formation that we're playing. All right. Let's just get that.
So is mine.
Well, yeah.
David Neres is going to come in the second half and score.
Yeah.
Watch.
Okay, fair. But I'm saying 4-3-3, Neres and Lang start. All right. I'm thinking Lang scores. Neres scoring. You're going to say that. Neres and Lang both show they should be starting. They get a goal. And, of course, our beloved McTominay scores.
Wow.
Yeah. Could you imagine both our wingers scoring in a 4-3-3 formation and McTominay scores? If that doesn't wake up Conte's eyes to try the 4-3-3 against stout teams as well, not just as a little experiment against the bottom of the league team. I don't know.
If that happens, Conte is going to have to fight off the 4-3-3.
And Politano.
Yeah.
That.
Yeah, and Politano. Oh, shit. Dude, that's not happening.
Yeah,
Politano's his boy.
No, I know.
Politano will still play in a 4-3-3. Watch.
I think the only realistic thing that's going to happen is that McTominay is going to score, and we're still going to play the 4-1-4-1. That's just what I think. But I'm just being very optimistic today. So
wait a minute. No, you can't go back and say that. You already predicted.
No. That is my prediction. But I'm saying I'm being optimistic in terms of being realistic. He's going to do what you said, go to 4-1-4-1 and do the thing there.
Well, hold on. What is your prediction? Optimistic
4-3-3.
or realistic?
I mean, it can be both because this is a game that you can use the 4-3-3. This is the time to do it. Genoa is, I'm sorry to say it, dog shit.
Absolutely the time to do it.
Yeah. So we both say 3-0 then? No goals conceded?
Nope. I really want to say like 4-0, but 3-0 I think is optimistic enough.
Okay. I see what you did there. That's enough of the Genoa match. Before we end the video, we would like to talk about what occurred in the city of Bella Napoli, because some shit went down. Shit hit the fan. Napoli news.
little bit.
So, Debo, I'll let you go into this segment just because you're a lot more familiar with it than I am, but I will bring up the pictures. There it is. What is that?
It's just, some of that pre-match violence that happens every once in a while. It just, you never want to see it. It wasn't anywhere near as bad as it was for
With
the
Frankfurt
the
occurrence.
Frankfurt match 2 years ago, I believe that was.
Mm-hmm.
That one was terrible, man. And a friend of the show, Spider, he was there for that. Yeah, man. You see the guy there with the green and white striped jersey or whatever. I think that's a Sporting dude, man, sticking
Yeah,
out
him
like a
and the
sore
people
thumb.
behind them, I believe, are all
So,
Sporting fans.
so here's the deal, right?
Mm-hmm.
Who in their right mind walks around a large city like Napoli or any other large city in Europe the day of a Champions League game with your home team jersey on?
Oh, that's
So
not fair.
no, I'm being serious now.
Wow.
I'm being serious. You shouldn't do it. And more than likely what happened, I don't know this, I'm just guessing. I've seen how people act. I remember one time I was outside of the stadium before we were playing Liverpool, and there was a dude that was thinking it was okay to be walking around with his Liverpool jersey on, and nothing happened, but he still was super arrogant and, naive in thinking that nothing would happen. And just talking to him, I remember trying to convince him that, it might not be the safest thing to do. And you know what? This was years ago. This was when, when we had the Napoli Nation fan club and we were, taking bus loads of fans to the games. And I knew every time that there was gonna for these big matches, I knew that bus was gonna have fans from the other team, but I always advised them not to be wearing the other team's gear because anything can happen. And more than likely, this dude was walking around like that, and somebody might have said something, and he might have said something back that was a little bit more arrogant, a little bit more, raunchy or whatever. And here you go. You know what I mean? So I don't know, man. It's just never smart to do that in a big city. Over in the UK, maybe it's a little bit more common to do that. I really don't know for sure. I'm just guessing maybe because it's, they're a little bit toned down over there now. It's not like it used to be in that league. And but in Italy, man, everywhere I've gone, people
Mm-hmm.
aren't just walking around with the other team's gear on, even for our league matches.
Yeah, do you remember
Not
when we
just
went to what was that match we went to? The Inter game. We played Inter away, and those guys in the cars and the moped when we were
yeah.
walking on the sidewalk, they were driving by us and saying some crazy shit.
Was that Inter or was that Sampdoria? I think that was
No,
Sampdoria, man.
no, it was Inter. I
Was
remember
it
because
really?
that was the same match where we met who's the one Korean fan, the big Kim Min Jae fan, Saab,
Sabi. Yeah,
something like
Sabi, I
that.
think. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
Or
yeah, that was the
Saba, I
same match
think.
that we took a picture with him. Seba, there you
Oh,
go, boom.
oh,
Seba's his name. But
yeah.
in terms of like violence, we won't. Well, I can't say we won't, but a majority of the time there won't be any killings per se. That's the problem with
Good.
that's the problem with actually a lot of American games like here in the US. You're obviously a lot safer to walk around in terms, I want to say, like with the other team's jersey on, but in terms of them actually doing something to hurt you or possibly end your life, it's very bad out here. In Napoli, I mean, there's even Juventus fans that walk around the city with their jersey on sometimes. And matter of fact, it's mostly like kids. And I don't know if you remember when we went on our trip 3 years ago when we won the third Scudetto. The pair of kids that were walking up to us and saying stuff about their team. Now, I believe it was either Juventus or Inter. I can't remember. But then they told us to come in the alleyway. Come in the alleyway. I was like, okay, relax, buddy, relax.
Oh
You
yeah, I
remember
do
that?
remember that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Some people are always
They're
gonna,
like,
they weren't gonna do nothing. You know what I mean? Maybe they have like a
yeah.
knife in their back pocket or whatever. They're freaking kids. But regardless, you got to always watch your back wherever you go. No matter where you're at, anything can happen in this crazy world. Like the
I
world
mean,
in general is just crazy.
yeah. I mean, you do have a point. Like in the States, when something happens,
It's bad. It can
it's
be very
usually
bad.
more violent, and people are more, I guess, willing to go the distance
Hmm.
and really, really try to hurt somebody. But if you look at the video from this one, and then you look at the video from the Frankfurt one, like,
Oh no, it's a
dude,
world
throwing,
different.
I mean, but even so, man, throwing chairs like were doing, like, somebody could get hurt pretty bad.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Maybe not get killed, but maybe get put into the ER or something. So, but yeah, you're right. In the States, I think that so just look at it this way. If we actually had a case of 20 dudes going at 20 other dudes in the States, somebody was going to die.
Or be in critical condition. Yeah, probably. I wouldn't.
Yeah, you're probably
Put
right,
that
man.
badly. But the
Yeah.
thing about you got to think about with the states though is that there's no away section. Like imagine if Italian soccer
Man.
had no away section, then we might be getting into a different
Well, here's the thing
topic.
though.
But
Let's think about this for a sec, right?
no,
So, if we made it a thing from a like a cultural perspective, watching games in stadiums where it was normal, I can tell you there is one game, Milan Napoli. Milan Napoli, every time I went to that game in San Siro, there's Napoli fans all throughout the stands. And it's still a big match, and there's still, a rivalry, but you're able to sit in and around fans from the opposite team in that game. For whatever reason, it's a thing, but normally it's not. You're absolutely right. But if we made that a cultural, like, if we could just get people to accept being able to sit in and around fans from the opposite team, like, maybe we can start trying to make that transition a little bit. I think in order to do that, you're going to have a bump up of security, and you're going to have to be more serious with people that are doing things to keep them from like losing control. But I don't know, man. I don't know if that could ever be a thing, but it would be nice. Like, it would it's so much more enjoyable to watch a game in an opposing team stadium with your gear on as long as nothing happens. But it's just not something that I can see would really change soon, if ever, but it would be nice if it did.
by the way, before I want to end this Napoli news segment and end the video, I guess, what do you think is strange about these pictures? Well, I guess the right picture is a better determination
So
of that.
there's something strange about it?
Yeah, very strange. You see all those
Really? Let me
helmets?
hold on.
You see
Let
all
me
those helmets?
maximize my screen.
You're not gonna
Oh
catch it.
yeah, man.
You see the helmets?
I bet those are the Napoli fans.
No,
I,
easily.
I
But
bet I bet
no, those are definitely
they're
the Napoli fans, of course. But
yeah.
not in terms of them being Napoli fans. I'm saying, when's the last time you ever saw so many people that drive mopeds wear their helmets like this? You don't even see this on the damn street when
Dude,
they
I'll
when
be
they
honest with
drive.
you, man. They probably put those helmets
No,
on
yeah, just for
prepared for the
safety.
fight.
No, that's what I'm saying. That's exactly what it is. They're more concerned
Oh.
about a fight wearing their
Yeah,
helmets
I
than
didn't even
driving
notice that
on
till
the
now.
roads
That's
is
funny.
100 times more dangerous because anything can happen. I mean, you're riding a moped,
Yeah.
for Christ's sake.
Yeah.
I don't know. I just thought I'd point
Yeah.
that out. That's crazy. Well, that's the first thing that I noticed when I saw that picture. I was like, "Oh, they're wearing the
Mm.
helmets for a fight, but not when they're on the road." And Napoli's got some
Yeah,
crazy drivers.
going 80 miles an hour on the tangent right next to a semi.
Yeah, swerving throughout the city, cutting people
Yeah,
off.
man.
Anyway,
Mm.
before we end this video, I want to give a quick shout out, as we always do, to our fellow Napoli content creators. That being said, to the left, or from left to right, it is Napoli Talk, Forza Napoli podcast, In the Shadow of Vesuvio podcast, and the Napoli Rant. As always, be sure to follow and subscribe if you haven't yet. We all try to support each other in this community. And yeah, we do have also one more announcement. Should point that out. A very special guest by the name of Dom Elmana is coming
Boy.
on to our live today, because I'm posting this the morning of today at 5 p.m. Eastern time to go over both the Genoa match and also just a overall early season review. So that should be interesting. We both love Dom. We went on a nice little Napoli trip with him a few years back when he won the third Scudetto. It's always a good time with that guy. He's freaking crazy. Very great vibes. So definitely tune into that if you can. Once again, 5 p.m. Eastern time, and it should be a phenomenal time. So
Elmana.
El Mana. That shit's
Mhm.
hilarious how that started. But
Oh,
yeah,
and yeah,
Yeah.
make sure put that back up, Mario.
Yeah.
And make sure that you watch our live, of course, right? But also, you're missing out if you ain't subscribed to Tutto Calcio, because that show is. So the thing about that show is it's unique.
Mhm.
Nobody's doing what they're doing, bringing on all kinds of fans from any other teams in Serie A. They're doing that almost every time they have a new person on. And then the banter that goes on is just straight popcorn. So make sure that you subscribe and watch their videos too. And I haven't been on there for a minute because Mama is over in Italy, Mario. So I'm going to be getting back on there once Mama comes back home so that I can have a little bit more time to do that. And I can't wait for that. I miss doing that show with him.
And you've been on that gym grind. So
Oh,
you still
yeah.
have, right?
3 days. I got sick, remember?
Okay, well, get back on it.
Smart ass.
Get back on it. You can't just stop.
I'm gonna,
Okay.
but I'm
All
still
right, all right,
coughing
all
a little
right.
bit. Dang.
Yeah. All right.
Don't make me
Let's-
laugh, man.
Let's end the video as we always do. Forza,
Napoli.
sempre.
Why you?
Vinciamo, why you?
Nai, die.